So I'm done upgrading my printer. I got the Micro Swiss extruder hot end, direct extruder with the hot end, as well as I put the Ender extender kit. So now I can print 400 by 400 by 500 roughly, give or take a bit. And so now the problem is, it's massive. And on top of that, if I'm printing with PETG or ABS, I sit right here and I don't really want to be printing beside me. I could put in the garage, but it's becoming winter, so I don't really have a heated garage. It's not going to be regulated, right? So anyway, I need to go ahead and figure this out. This is what I'm thinking. I have a bunch of scrap wood in the garage. I think it's called like particle board or MDF or whatever. And so it's 1/2 inch thick. I'm just going to cut it and screw that together. Got my special stick. So I'm going to have a shelf up top. And on above that shelf is I'm going to have the actual 3D printing filament. Because I have direct drive now, I actually run it straight down into the extruder, even though I still have the Bowden tube on there just to support the cables a bit. And then I can also have extra storage because of how big it is for other boxes of filament. And as well, I'm going to have an exhaust fan and an intake fan. Now I'm just going to use computer fans. I got a few of those. And I'm going to put an LED strip for light. But otherwise, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like it's just a box. But I'm also going to put the circuit boards on the side, just on some little mounts. And I have some scrap for a different project. I have some, what's it called? Plexiglass. So I have a big piece of plexiglass I'm going to use for the front, for a door. And then I have a random thing that from the grocery store, a package that'll work for the see-through part of the upper part. And there's just going to be a hole drilled in the middle. I'm stacking up on the fans on the outside here, just so I can have extra airflow, because it doesn't increase the amount of air moved, but it increases the amount of pressure. It's not actually pressure, but basically increases the amount of force behind it. So that way I can actually make sure I'm pushing it out the window. And then on the other side, I'll just have one intake, and they're going to run off different switches. So I'll have a couple switches that can turn them off and on. Same with the LED, we'll have a switch. Yeah, that's it.
Looking at here, it's about I think it's about 715 pounds.
Finally got it in the house. I'm going to mark out where I'm going to have the power supply, as well as where the LCD screen is going to go and the PCB mounts. Then I'm going to start putting everything together. got all the holes drilled for the 3D printer, I'm going to go ahead and add the fans and the LEDs to the case. So the fans I got up from Memory Express for $6 a fan. That's Canadian, so it's like 50 cents American. And so then the LEDs are just some leftover I still have. I got this buck converter off Amazon, 24 to 12 volts. Now, I found after I bought this, you can get adjustable ones. You can get them in a like 5-pack for cheaper than I got that for. But I also got these rocker switches a while ago. I just haven't used them. They were like $10 for 20 on Amazon. So I'm going to use these to control the LEDs and the fans. I got some leftover wire, so it might get a little messy because I'm going to try and use it all. And then just some screws to hold everything together and some drill bits to drill some holes. Something I didn't anticipate is that the switches only work on the positive wire, and the LED strip only has the negative wires for the colors, so it has one common positive and the rest are negative. So I wasn't able to actually use the switch directly with the LED strips. I thought about using transistors in as like a middleman, but the problem was I didn't actually pay attention to how they were supposed to go, and I ended up frying like 8 of them, and I was left with one that actually worked. So now I just had to go with relays, and I'm gonna leave them on the breadboard, I think, and just stick them on the inside of the case. So I got the 3D printer plugged into the power supply just outside the printer, and let's see how she works. This is pretty cool. I ended up having to rearrange my office because when I tried to put it on the desk, it would block the window, and I didn't think about that, even though I want to exhaust it straight out the window. So I'm going to have to come up with a way for like probably 3D print an exhaust pipe for it that I can get it from down below to up top and out. And on top of that, I didn't really anticipate it being as heavy as it is, and combine that with I'm going to load it full of filaments and the 3D printer. This table's like, I don't even know where it came from. It exists and it's not broken yet. So yeah, I really don't want to test it. After fighting with some dowel pieces and not really having much luck and drilling through my finger, I by the way, that was really gross. But anyway, I have a better idea. I played around last week, and so I have some small 22 shells. And these are perfect. They're roughly about the same size already. I don't have to cut them. So to attach the door at these leftover hinges, I don't know, they're not brand new. I just don't remember what I even had them for. They're sitting in the garage. The thing is, I don't really understand how you're supposed to use these. Because if I put them like this, then it's one's on the outside, one's on the inside. If I put them like this, then I don't have enough to screw into on the side here. That's probably a bad example, but I don't know. Like if I put them like this, like it doesn't really screw into the side unless I have it stick out so far. So yeah, I don't really know how I'm going to use them, but we'll see. I have these guys, which were for a different project, but I'm not done that project or even at that point. So I'm just going to use these to shut it, just some latches. And then I have some leftover foam, which I'm going to use. And I'm going to take some off the bins that the filament's currently in, and then put some double-sided tape on it and use that. Okay, for the bottom door, That's how it looks. It was made out of scrap wood. So this is how the backside looks. Beautiful. I have this leftover sheet of plexiglass from a different project. It's going to go right here in the middle. I'm just going to glue that down. And yeah, that'll be my door. And I'll throw the hinges on it. So now for the second door, I'm going to be using this guy right here, and I'm going to pop that just like that. All done. Now, I am moving in a few weeks, so I just went to Home Depot, grabbed some cheap dryer duct, and I'm just venting it straight out the window. But one thing I didn't think about is the way this house is, the wind blows back in the house. So I have to seal the window, and I won't be printing with it anytime soon because there's a snowstorm. So that's going to have to wait. But when I want to use it, I can just open the window and then tape on the cardboard. Just to show you how strong that is, actually. So this cardboard's against there. If I turn on the exhaust fans, as you can see it starts to bulge and it pops off. The thing I would change is as you can see, there's no light in there, which kind of sucks, but this is where the filament is. The tools are right here. Some hairspray and my scraps that I'm saving for one day. And this is the filament actually feeding straight into the down below. So if I open up down below, so you can see it's right here. I attached the fan with some double-sided tape just to blow over the chip.